Well, now to our state capitol. From record-breaking spending in a state Supreme Court race to a budget signed at 1:30 in the morning, Wisconsin had a busy year in politics.
That's for sure. Ellie LaLiberte is recapping this year's top stories in politics.
Coming off the presidential election as a key swing state, Wisconsin once again held true to its purple nature in 2025. So for our first top political story of the year, let's start off with the race that gained national attention, a race for a seat on the state's highest court. The April election determined the ideological majority of the state Supreme Court. Liberal Dane County Circuit Court Judge Susan Crawford facing off against conservative Waukesha County Judge Brad Schimmel. Crawford's victory cemented a liberal majority on the court through 2028. The race was also seen as a political test on the Trump administration just 3 months into his second term. Elon Musk and George Soros also pouring cash into the race. Spending grew to roughly $100 million, according to the Brennan Center for Law, making it the most expensive judicial race in U.S. history. And sticking with the Supreme Court, let's look at story number 2, the High Court's ruling on an 176-year-old abortion ban. In July, the state's liberal majority Supreme Court handed down a decision that made a 19th century abortion ban invalid in Wisconsin. In the decision, justices concluded that the legislature had already repealed the 1849 ban when it enacted laws about abortion in the wake of the Roe v. Wade decision from the United States Supreme Court. The ruling meant the 20-week abortion ban lawmakers set is law. However, the court also dismissed a Planned Parenthood case that argued the 1849 ban was unconstitutional. That dismissal left the question of if there is a constitutional right to an abortion up in the air. Now to negotiations at the state capitol. Wisconsin's $111.1 billion two-year budget is our third story. The budget cut taxes by more than $1 billion and increased funding for childcare and the universities of Wisconsin's system. But it was pushed through the legislature under pressure. The legislature rushed to get it to the governor's desk ahead of a federal deadline that could have caused the state to miss out on more than $1 billion in healthcare funding. This is a look at the governor signing that budget at 1:30 in the morning. At story number 4, Democratic Governor Tony Evers' announcement to not seek re-election. Evers' decision left the field to fill his seat completely open for the first time in about 15 years. The move by the 74-year-old governor left Democrats without a consensus candidate. In response, the Democratic primary immediately began to grow. And now to story number 5. The Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction found itself in hot water this year over a bombshell Capitol Times report. The department faced backlash for its handling of sexual misconduct claims in schools. That's after a year-long Cap Times investigation found 200 incidents of educator sexual misconduct or grooming in a 5-year period. During a Senate Committee on Education hearing, State Superintendent Jill Underly defended her department, saying it follows state statute but could use more resources. In addition to state hearings, a bipartisan committee voted to audit DPI about suspensions, restrictions, revocations, and investigations into educational licenses. And now to our final top political story of 2025, the federal government shutdown's impact on Wisconsin. The October stalemate was over the Affordable Care Act tax credits set to expire at the end of the year. In Wisconsin, the ripple effect took hold in federal food assistance, known here as food share. Governor Tony Evers criticized the Trump administration after the USDA said it planned to freeze SNAP payments because of the shutdown. But after a federal judge ruled the administration had to fund the program, Evers fully loaded Wisconsinites' EBT cards. The 43-day shutdown was the